you've identified some limiting beliefs. If you want to figure out what do you now do with those, how do you actually now change those limiting beliefs, or rather replace them with empowering beliefs, then stick around. I'll share that with you in this video. Hi guys, my name is Jacques Snyman, and I make videos to help you create a more secure future for you and your family. All right, we've spoken a whole bunch about beliefs now. I've given you in the previous video a methodology that you can use to start identifying those limiting beliefs. If you're still stuck in terms of not being able to identify limiting beliefs, there's a very simple methodology that you can use. Have a look at your life, have a look at the results in your life, and identify those areas that you're not too pleased with. Then go have a look at those and see if you can figure out what the limiting beliefs are that are actually holding you back in terms of that. Always comes out in those areas of your life where you are not particularly happy with your own performance and how it's going. Couple of refresher points I just want to remind you of that we have now figured out on this journey together. First of all, your RAS is programmed by your beliefs, your reticular activating system. In other words, the filter that determines what you actually see, what you observe, what you notice in life is programmed by your beliefs. The second thing is beliefs are formed in childhood. Nobody knows exactly where they come from or how they figured out, but it's essentially teachings from caretakers that we then take for the truth, and we really at that stage of our lives don't have an awful lot of choice. We accept those and we move on. The third point is you're not a child anymore. You now have a choice. And remember, one of the simplest definitions I gave you in terms of what a belief really is that it's a decision. It's a choice. So you certainly can now, once you've identified a limiting belief, you can now make a different choice and do something about it. The fourth pointer is beliefs actually can be changed, right? Then the fifth point, and this thing is becoming more and more clear to me as I explore further, guys. Beliefs are spectacularly powerful. They are simple things. It's just a belief, right? It's just a statement. Can it be so powerful? I'm realizing more and more that these things are spectacularly powerful. They determine your decisions, they determine your actions, they determine your results. They therefore essentially determine your destiny. It's a cybernetic loop as well, beliefs to choices to actions to results, and there's feedback built into it. So yeah, it's a cybernetic loop, and in order for you to change that, you need to break that cybernetic loop. The other thing that I've realized is that belief change implies identity change. So that simply for me means that in order for me to really experience and really live a new belief, I need to change as a person. So that's a fundamental realization. We'll explore that more as we go along on this journey. Right. So what's the process look like once you've now identified those limiting beliefs? A couple of steps, and this is with great respect and great thankfulness to a whole bunch of people. This is based on the work that was written. It's a book and a whole process that was created by Byron Katie. It is based on work done by Brandon Bays. It is based on the process that Tony Robbins shares at his UPW. I've put in some stuff in here in terms of John DeMartini and how you determine values. So it's a bit of a modified process. I'm trying to make this as practical as possible and as applicable as possible for us from a logical perspective, right? We'll get to the identity change later on and we'll delve deeper into that. But step one is identify those limiting beliefs. So I've already shared that with you. Look at the results of your life and then from there, determine those limiting beliefs. How many beliefs can you change at any one given time? The research says that you shouldn't try to change more than 3 of them at a time. For me, currently, I'm working on one set of beliefs, if you want. You can go up to 3, and I think then it just becomes overwhelming for the whole system to deal with more than that. So don't try and create a list of 25 and start changing these things. Pick 1, 2, or 3. So that's the limiting beliefs. The second step, or the second question I want to ask you is, what has been the consequences of this belief in your life? So what have you missed out on? What have you not achieved? What have you not gained? How have your relationships not been great? How have you not earned a specific amount of money? What were the consequences of this limiting belief? Write all these things down, guys. There's a very important connection and benefit in taking a pen and writing things down. If you really want to, go the digital route. But for me, I'm traditional in that sense. I write these things down. So what were the consequences of these limiting beliefs? The third step, or the third question, is how has this belief actually served you? So just for a moment, pause and think through. All right, I've identified this as a limiting belief. This thing has caused havoc on my life, right? It's held me back in many, many ways. But what has been the gifts that this belief has given you in your life? One of my beliefs is that I'm still working hard on changing, is that you have to work hard for your money, right? What's one of the gifts that that belief has given me in life? It has given me an incredible drive to keep on developing, to keep on improving my level of competence. And I believe that is a gift. So the third step is identify the beliefs, gifts that you've experienced during your life. At a minimum, that belief has probably kept you safe. That's the third step. The fourth step simply says, what will it cost you at the end of your life if you do not change that belief? In other words, if you decide today to do nothing and just coast through life, what will it cost you at the end of your life? I personally believe that the pain of making the change, or the pain of going through the process of actually changing beliefs and therefore adapting your life and even challenging your own identity, is much less painful than arriving at the end of the journey with a whole list of regrets. So think through, what will it cost you if you don't change that belief? That's the fourth step. The fifth step, just another interlude again from Byron Katie's work, is just question for a moment, is this belief true? Or is there a smidgen of a possibility that the belief could be false or a misinterpretation, right? Just question. Remember where those beliefs come from? They typically come from caretakers, and they typically come from people where you were told this is the truth and that's it, move on. So question in step number 5, is this belief true, or could it be a misinterpretation or a misrepresentation? Step 6 says, now go to the next step and create your new empowering belief. So make a list on a blank piece of paper. On the left-hand side, you list your limiting beliefs. On the right-hand side, you create your own new empowering belief. Write it down. That's step 7. Step 6. Step 7 says, once you've got this new empowering belief defined, what will be the consequences or the benefit of you living a life having that belief? So how will it change your life? How will you benefit? How do you believe you will grow faster and so forth because of that new empowering belief, right? That was step number 7. Step number 8 says, look for confirmation. Look for proof that your new empowering belief actually is true. Go find it. That's like a very first step in terms of reprogramming your RAS, your reticular activating system, if you want, that almost kind of forces your brain to go look for proof that your new empowering belief actually is true. Okay, so find confirmation, find proof, find facts that your new empowering belief is actually true. And then the last step, step 9, is simply conditioning and repetition. I said this in a previous discussion. The way our beliefs were formed in the first place was through repetition. The way you change those beliefs now from a conscious perspective is that you repeat your new empowering beliefs. In other words, do something practical. Make a recording of your new empowering beliefs on your cell phone, on another device, on an app, whatever you want to do. Write it down, type it out, stick it to the wall, whatever you want to do, but figure out a process for you, create a habit for at least, I believe, the next 30 days. That'll give you the opportunity to at least once a day repeat that new empowering belief somewhere between 25 and 30 times. It works best when you do this in one batch. You can, however, also break that up and do 15 repetitions in the morning and 15 repetitions at night. However that works for you, it's cool. But for me, it works well if you do all the repetitions at once during the day. And I'm now on day 29. I've started creating the habit of repeating those new empowering beliefs for myself. That's the process of, from a conscious perspective, reprogramming your reticular activating system. Remember, that's the thing that filters all the data out for you. It determines what you will see, what you will notice. It will guide your decisions, and in the end, that will determine your destiny. So that's the 9 steps. I hope that helps. It's a practical methodology that you can apply. As I say, it's a combination of a whole bunch of gurus and their suggested processes. Some of them are simpler, some of them are shorter. I think this one is thorough, and it asks all the relevant questions in terms of limiting beliefs. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you some feedback in terms of the balance of the activities that I've been doing on this journey of creating a more secure future for me and my family. So look out for that video tomorrow.